The hat of reason, the traveler who spent everything to understand. Have you ever asked yourself this question? Are you ready to discover what you already carry within you? What if what you have been searching for everywhere was already close at hand, perhaps even within you, hidden in one of your own bags? There is a pursuit riskier than wealth, more demanding than power. It is the pursuit of meaning. When meaning is absent, energy drains, the heart tightens, and certainties collapse as if struck by a knockout blow. Let us follow the journey of a young man in search of what he called reason. You may be as surprised as he was. Once there was a young man consumed by a single question, a question that gnawed at him like an ancient thirst. What is reason? He spoke of it as one might speak of a distant land or a lost treasure to which his soul already felt mysteriously bound. Finding no answers among his peers, he sought out a sage, one of those rare individuals whose silence carries more weight than speeches and whose gaze seems to read between the lines of the world. The sage listened at length, then replied with disarming gentleness, "I cannot give you reason, but I can help you discover it, and since I see that you are truly committed, I will give you what you need to travel in search of it." The young man expected a revelation, a secret, a mystical gesture. Instead, he received only a bag for his clothes and a heavy purse filled with just enough money to cross the roads of the world. At first, he was disappointed. Then he realized that every quest begins with a step, and every step requires a measure of courage. So he departed. Landscape after landscape, village after village, he sought out sages as one searches for fragments of truth. Some spoke to him in riddles, others in parables, and still others through silence, a silence so vast that it unsettled him. At times, he felt as though something inside him was cracking open, allowing in a light too subtle to put into words. Along the way, he encountered harsh circumstances and people of every kind. He spent nights without shelter, navigated unfair markets, traveled hostile roads, and formed brief friendships that dissolved at the first turn. There were moments of joy so intense they made him forget the world, fear so sharp it stole his breath, and surprises powerful enough to awaken the dead. With each passing day, his purse grew lighter, and with every experience, the question pressed harder. Where is this reason? Where can I find it? The emptier his purse became, the tighter his heart seemed to draw, like a string pulled to its limit. He found himself trapped in a cage of anticipation and anxiety. Would he ever find reason? He spent nearly everything he had: money, expectation, energy. In truth, it felt as though he was spending not only what he owned, but who he was. One day, exhausted and resolved to return home, he reached into the bottom of his bag. Beneath the last silver coin, the silent remnant of all he had squandered, he discovered something buried deep inside. A hat. He had never noticed it before. The fabric felt smooth, almost like silk. He placed it on his head. What followed surprised him, a sense of inner calm, a quiet breath rising from within, and a clarity settling over his mind. He acquired a new way of thinking. All the experiences of his journey, fear, joy, surprise, anger, shed their immediate emotional charge and transformed, in his eyes, into stories worth telling, rich with insight. He found himself in awe. Why did I not feel this before? Why did I lack this clarity? He wondered. From now on, I will step back from each experience and view it differently so I can discern its lessons. Then he sighed. If only I could begin the journey again. I no longer have the money I had when I started. What then had transformed him? The sage had not given him money alone. He had slipped into the bag a silent tool, a symbol meant to be discovered only when the traveler was ready. Suddenly, he understood. That hat was the hat of reason. He held it in his hands. Awe flooded him, followed by a trace of bitterness, the realization that he had spent his wealth to obtain what he might have discovered sooner. Softly, he murmured, "If only I had the wealth of the past and the reason of the present." Yet when he placed the hat back on his head, something expanded within him. It was more than lucidity. It was a new way of seeing the world, a vision that replaced shadows with light, gave meaning to his failures, and turned each loss into a quiet initiation. As he grasped the meaning of things, the very source of reason, his sorrow vanished. What he now perceived surpassed everything he believed he had set out to find. Such is life, he reflected. When we seek sincerely, life grants us what we pursue and much more besides, including what we need but never thought to ask for. Without hesitation, he set out again. He embarked on a second journey, this time in search of wisdom. This new path promised neither comfort nor wealth, only a deeper truth, one revealed to those who continue forward, even when they believe they already understand. He took his first step as one enters a mystery. Will he discover wisdom by relying on reason or the deeper meaning of things? One thing is certain, those who truly walk the path never return unchanged. And you? If this story unsettles you, do not look away. What you call mistakes, losses, or detours may simply be waiting for a different perspective. Dare to revisit your failures without judgment. Dare to reread them. Reason is not absent from your life, it waits to be recognized. The journey has never been about distance, but about depth. The choice is now yours. How far are you willing to descend within yourself? Never forget, reason is not given, it is discovered through meaning, and meaning is discovered through us.